It's the Buffalo No-Huddle from the Batavia Daily News and Livingston County News. And I'm glad for a short week because the sooner I can put that game in the rearview mirror and forget about it, I'll be happy. It's Jimi Jamm here from CJ Country. I do the morning show from 6 to 10 on there. And Mark Tillery, normally by my side, but he's in Las Vegas. So we're on to the next step of technology. After about 2 or 3 other technologies failed us tonight, one way or another, I got Mark on the phone. So, Mark, 41-15, the Bills just come up flat in every phase of the game. Painful to watch on Sunday. And what were your thoughts?
Look, it's I'm over excuses at this point. I know it's. I feel for the fans mostly because you out there in the stands freezing your butts off. I'm walking through an airport afterwards and I'm seeing all these dejected Bills fans with Josh Allen jerseys on, still holding out hope, like no other. But it's just excuses are done at this point. I get Edmonds was out. I get Starr was out with what they had going on. But look how terrible the defense played against the Colts. Running back Jonathan Taylor ate them up for 185 yards. Put a cape on that guy because he did exactly what we didn't want him to do when we talked about last week. There's a new JT in town, and he's in sync perfectly with Frank Reich's offense. The Bills just look terrible against them. The only bright spot I could find is Stephon Diggs with 2 touchdowns. Other than that, it was just a terrible, terrible day for the fans and the team.
We'll get into it in a moment and stuff. Yeah, I really felt, even with the things they were missing, you're right. It shouldn't be that much of a drop-off. We talk about this team having tremendous depth, and let's face it, when a team's got depth, it isn't like it used to be in the 90s when there were less teams, when the salary cap was different, the structure was different, the free agency was different, and you could really keep a team a little bit deeper. This team, you think they're depth, they got depth, but they don't. And I'm tired of the fact, couple things, when we're down 2 guys, they can't block. We don't have a pass rush with the guys we got. Everybody was healthy on the defensive side of the line other than with Tulele, and he's a run stuffer. Where the hell is the pass rush this season? I talked to you about this a couple weeks ago, that there's a systemic failure within this team to block properly and to pass rush. And sacks aren't the only stat. There's something to be said for knockdowns, for hurries, all those other things. We don't put enough heat on the quarterback to make them uncomfortable. They got time back there, and it's getting old really fast. This team doesn't have the depth. The only saving grace, I'll give you a silver lining. The only saving grace right now for this team, hopefully they can turn it around against New Orleans, and because then they got New England Monday night. The only saving grace for this team is that you look at the conference leader, Tennessee. They got 3 losses. Buffalo has 4. They're the 1 seed. We're the 7th seed. That is how the AFC is this year. There's a lot of teams. There's 4 teams below 500. The rest are 500 or better. It is a logjam. Having said that,
and there's some Twilight Zone stuff going on at the same time, because how in the heck could the Bills not beat the Titans, but Tyrod goes in there and beats the Titans on Sunday? It's crazy,
yep.
And that gives me some kind of hope that Buffalo just has some bad games, but Buffalo's pretty good on beating up bad teams and teams that aren't quite with it. But when you're playing those teams that you could possibly meet in the playoffs, when all the cards are on the table, you got to beat them. You got to beat them and show them who's boss early.
Yeah. We didn't beat the Titans. Houston did, but we beat Houston. That's how the NFL is. It's just how it is. Let's get the player awards here. Let's talk about our most valuable.
Real quick, and to insult the injury, they lost the lead in turnover differential on their own field against a team that they were ahead of. So at no real point did they look poised in the game, except for when they scored the first touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was the confidence is lost right now. I'm not too happy with this team, and I don't think any fan is. I don't think the team's even happy with themselves right now.
Look, I like to think that there are schematic problems with the team as why certain things don't work. There's something to be said for motivation, but I don't think it's the end all, the be all. But I don't know if this team that feels like that stuff's going to get handed to them. They don't sense the urgency. You lose the shot at getting the conference, and now you're just sort of floundering at this point. It's like, look, get it together, or you're going to be on the outside looking in, and this season's a waste. If they miss this, I mean, I don't want to be dramatic, but I feel like in some ways, if they can't win and get into the playoffs this year and try to take a run, because anything happens once you get in the playoffs. Even the Bills have been a wild card team during their Super Bowl run. They were a wild card and had to go the long way to get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I feel like if they don't get it together, they might miss their first window as a team. You know what I mean? Josh will get another chance. Maybe they'll have to reload. But there's some things on the roster going to change, and there's some things, believe you me, I want to change on the roster right now. I'm over.
Look, time waits for no man, and Allen's obviously a young quarterback, but young quarterbacks do get old. I mean that's a given. It hurts that they went in from a contender that was picked to win the Super Bowl or possibly go to the Super Bowl, maybe win it, uh, to be in question if they'll even make the playoffs on Monday Night Football last night. And so to go from a contender to being a pretender, they may as well just have grass in their pockets at this point. Because I agree with the critics.
Let's talk about our awards. Let's go. Move forward here. Your MVP from Sunday, if you can find one.
Well, stats aren't much here, but the TD's meant something at some point. Diggs with a whopping 4 catches for 23 whole yards, putting up Jordan numbers here. That's my player of the game. And it's nothing against Diggs because Diggs holds his head up high after that game. He contributes on that field, and he's a great player on and off the field. So I'm giving it to Diggs this week.
I'm going to go with Matt Breida just because he once again he's 50-plus yards from scrimmage. And, Buffalo is going against tendency these last 2 weeks. There was some idiot in the stands nearby. How come they didn't use him like this during the season? It's like it's not about the player all the time. It's about the schemes they're running and whether they use them or not. Mark, can you remember from memory the Bills running any jet sweeps before the last 3 weeks? Or running any plays to the outside on the run? Pretty much they're between the tackles, right? Between the guards and tackles. Right. That's not Breida. Breida's a speed guy. He's a speed merchant, so they've been running him to the outside. They're doing things against their tendencies to open things up because they had to because the line's been depleted, and it's working. Breida is giving it his all. To be honest with you, let's get into better luck next time, which I keep wanting to say is least valuable, but I really feel that way this week. And then and that leads into my next thing about Breida. So who's your better luck next time guy?
Better luck next time. I got him quite a bit this season, man, but I got to say it again. Josh Allen with 2 interceptions. You're building the team around this guy. They expect him to be a leader. They expect him to go out there and make moves. You can't throw in the rain. I get it, but your running game's bad. On the 100 your running game's bad. So 2 interceptions, 1 fumble not lost. But he's over here playing Hollywood ball, throwing up his back foot and throwing into traffic. And what do you think is going to happen at that point? Law of averages is you throw off your back foot, it's getting intercepted.
I think he feels like sometimes he's got to win he's gotten better at not trying to win the game, but sometimes I feel he thinks he has to win the game and make plays and do the hero ball thing. Like I said, like you said, bad conditions lend themselves into it. I will say in his defense, every one of the great quarterbacks in this league pees down their leg at some point during the season. So maybe that was his shot. Sure. So there you go. My better luck next time. I don't think he deserves it next time. Zach Moss. I'm over it. And I know he's got 1 year less than Singletary does, but we don't have a running back worth a damn on this team except for Breida. And with Adrian Peterson getting released, I wouldn't mind giving him a sniff right now. Just get him on the roster, do something, because Zach Moss ain't got it. He's not physical enough. He's not talented enough. And with this line, we need somebody that could be a little bit of a bell cow type running back who can make some things happen, create some space, hit some holes hard, do something, be a playmaker. He's not. I think
Jonathan Taylor shows you you got to go after a running back in the draft. Carson Wentz, pretty much a journeyman quarterback at this point, but they went in and they did the job against the Bills. And I don't want to hear anything about Frank Reich's better than McDermott. Every coach has their own way of doing things, and it's just a matter of building the team around them. And that's where it is. So Bills definitely need a running back to complement Josh Allen because the defense was playing lights out until this past Sunday. But again, they can't carry the game all the time. They can't.
All right, now I know who I've got for my bro seriously. What's yours?
My bro seriously, you can hate me for this because you are a big Bassmaster fan, but I got Isaiah McKenzie and I got Tyler Bass. I mean, it was the disastrous fumble leading to a TD for 7 for Indy was insult to injury, and then Bass was just off his game that day. He's playing amazing the entire season. I'm not taking anything away from Bass, but I just would have loved to see some points on that board, and it was just a train wreck all around, man. Like you said,
yeah,
the Bills laid an egg on Sunday.
I see. To me, it's like, look, 55 yards is a lot to ask in that weather. 55 is a lot. I know kickers who've gotten better over the years, and Bass has been so amazing, so consistent this season. I'm going to give him a pass. It might have been a bad day at the office. I don't know what happened on that second field goal that he missed. I just know that 55-yarder he almost made. It hit the upright. It banged off the upright. I mean,
we should give him passes because that one certainly wasn't.
It wasn't a great day for him and stuff like that. But I'm not ready to necessarily put the noose around his neck. Isaiah McKenzie for bro seriously, dude. No one touched you. You're a professional athlete. Stop coughing up the ball. Figure out a way. That's why you aren't in Denver anymore. That's why they cut you, because you can't hold on to the ball. And you know what? If someone hits you, that's one thing. If not, hold on to the stupid ball. That was NFL Follies vintage 1977. I mean, all I was waiting for was a Lou Picone cameo, and we'd be back watching the 77 Bills with Joe Ferguson. I mean, here was the thing. The Buffalo had taken it down the field to make it 14-7, okay? The defense tightens up, and now they're going to get the ball back with a chance to score again, either touchdown or field goal before halftime, and get the second half kickoff. Momentum starting to swing. And with that, when he coughed up that ball, the air went out of the building, the air went out of the team, and that was the ball game at that point. That was the turning point. It was so early you couldn't quite see it. You wouldn't hope so. But, that was a 14-point swing that could have benefited the Bills. And
they just put themselves behind the 8 ball way too many times, and it came back to bite them every single time.
Here's the thing, I'm armchair GM and I'm undefeated. Not for nothing. Marquez Stevenson's off IR. They got 3 weeks to decide what to do with him, and we saw what he did in the preseason returning kicks. Guess what? Sit Isaiah on the bench and just say, hey, guess what? You can do the occasional jet sweep, but we're going to let someone else take kicks for a while. Either it puts the fear of God in him and he starts responding, or we got Marquez Stevenson to do what he does. And but I'm ready for changes. I don't need Moss anymore. McKenzie needs to figure it out. And, and we've got, like I said at the beginning, we're talking about the window on this team shifting, changing to where, we might miss our first window to get to a Super Bowl. Because think about it. Josh has benefited from a good receiving core. When that receiving core is compromised, he's compromised. Beasley's still limited with the ribs. Still limited. So we don't know what's wrong with those ribs. Did he break them? Did he crack them? Is he playing through? We don't know. That has not been specified. All we know is his rib injury, okay? So he's been less than. Then you got Emmanuel Sanders, who, God bless him, at age 34, has been they love him in the locker room. He's been enthusiastic. I love that. But he has lost steam over the season. He's 34, and that's to be expected. It's not a character flaw. It's not anything. It's just how some people respond. You know what I mean? Some people aren't, 45 and refusing to eat strawberries. You know what I mean? A certain guy down in Tampa.
Right.
So it is what it is. But they've got it. There are things going to change. I don't know if Beasley's on the team next year. I don't even know if Beasley's going to be on the team next year because he, like I said, I'm seeing declining skills, and plus two, he's getting banged up, and I can see changes happening. But all in all, not a great day at the office. Now, let's talk about New Orleans because they need this win. And then they need to beat New England next week. Now, New Orleans has never lost on Thanksgiving. I don't know if you know that or not, but they've been in Thanksgiving games 3 out of the last 4 years. Buffalo, last time they were in it, it was pretty damn sweet. They were wearing the Smurf. They went full Smurf, blue and blue, and beat Dallas. Great game that I'll still watch the hype video on YouTube for. But the Saints, they actually have somebody who can get more than 3 sacks in a season so far. Well, they got Cameron Jordan, who's got 5 so far this season, all right? So, he can make something happen. Their running game is the key. This is the deal, and long and short of it is, without having a whole lot of time to really dissect what they do, it's Alvin Kamara and it is Mark Ingram, okay? The last time they played the Bills, granted, it was 2017. Kamara went off for 106 yards. Ingram had 131 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns, okay? Kamara has become the bell cow for them, but he has not practiced. He didn't practice today. We're doing this on Tuesday, and Thursday's the game. So, unless there's something, a minor miracle, I don't think he plays. Ingram possibly maybe could play. I wish we had Starr back. I don't know if that's going to happen. We will have Tremaine Edmonds back because he is back practicing full. So that's a good thing. If they can take away the run, because those running backs aren't there, Trevor Siemian can't get it done. The Saints are one-dimensional. I mean, right now, granted, last week we were no-dimensional, but they're one-dimensional. If we can get some of our stuff back, there's an opportunity to get a win here. But like I said, it all depends on where the running backs are for the Saints.
I agree 100%, man. The Bills got punched in the face at home last week. They're looking to take that out on somebody. And like you said, they got to get rid of Moss. Has got to be benched this week, without a doubt. Moss has got to be benched. Bring Breida in. I don't care if it's a two-headed beast of Breida and Singletary going in there. You're playing in the Superdome, so you got, if Allen's got some healthy receivers, at least 80%, going into it, Allen could have a field day against this team. But again, I don't want to see Buffalo beat on another weak team. You look at Trevor Siemian; he's not Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
But due to the injuries the Bills are facing, and a win is just not impressive at this stage of the game for me. I mean, Week 12 primetime Thanksgiving night, you're definitely going to want to bring it. But again, I'm just not convinced that Buffalo's a championship caliber team. And yes, I'll be excited if they beat this team. But it's also it's bittersweet because we're not beating teams that we need to beat. And if they lose this game, could it be the playoffs? So I'm basically looking at I have confidence they're going to win, but I don't have confidence what's going into the next game.
I
So
yeah.
that being said, I'm looking at 31-24. I'm going to give Buffalo 31-24 with Allen just going off on Thanksgiving because I got a feeling that's going to be his day to do things.
Okay.
And like you said, the blue on blue. The Smurf did his thing last year and expect him to do it again, 31-24.
Are they wearing the blue again? They're wearing all blue?
From what I saw something pop up today, but you know how fans are. They're going to put the cart before the horse always.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was odd because you know why the Cowboys do it, because they don't want to wear their dark colors. You know what I mean? So that's why we had the option to wear the blue because the Cowboys were all white. Man, you know what? Here's the thing. I so whiffed on the pick last week, 24-20. I had Buffalo winning over Indianapolis because I'm a dreamer, I guess. I'm going to say this week, if Kamara and Ingram aren't playing, Buffalo wins 24-20. I'm going to go back to that score again and say Buffalo will find a way to win. If they're in the game, then I don't know what happens, but Buffalo needs to find something and pull it out and make it happen. I will say, like I said, the conference is very compacted. I will say there are teams that at one point in the season can look dead, and all they got to do is get hot, and then they can find themselves in a Super Bowl. So I'm not saying it's over with. I'm not saying anything because we find out week to week how little we know. Really. You know what I mean? Like you and I are fans, and yeah, I do a little analysis work and stuff, and you try to make notes and do the things you do and study things. But the reality is week to week, this team's got us guessing. So as far as I'm concerned, they're a contender or they're out of the playoffs. The answer is both right now until they go where they got to go. We got to see where this.
Yeah, I don't know who this team is right now.
Yeah,
I don't.
Really?
I mean,
yeah.
I know they could beat up on the little man, and that only goes so far until you get yourself in a prize fight, and then you're counting the lights. So they definitely they got to show that they're still a team against New Orleans, which they will. I hope Kamara plays because I really do want to see a challenge out there for them, and. I think looking down the road, we've been saying this. I am terrified to even face New England. I don't want to hear the gloating, and I certainly don't want to hear, it's going to be another 10 years of New England beating up on us because New England has a lot of teams' numbers right now, and I'm hoping Buffalo gets it together before that game.
All right, and keep in mind this season's been so crazy. New England lost to Miami this season, so you know what I mean.
Crazy like Prince.
Yeah, so it's just. It is what it is. We just got to see where it goes and follow it on this roller coaster ride, and hopefully it ends up with a playoff berth. Once you get in the playoffs, then we'll see what happens. But there you go. That is going to do it for the Buffalo No-Huddle for this week, thankfully, because it's been a frustrating week, a short turnaround, and then technology just screwing with us like no other. I'm Jimi Jamm.
In our defense, the first show, the first things worked, and then it just got bad after that.
All right, that's it for the Buffalo No-Huddle, brought to you by GCC and Ficarella's. I'm Jimi Jamm from CJ Country, morning 6 to 10, and Mark Tillery on the other side here, taking care of business. Hold it down in Vegas. About to hit the crap table, aren't you? Going to hit the crap table?
About to hit the crap table, but I will tell you this. I do want to make note that if we were driving down the skyline and we saw a Bills Stadium next to Buffalo and next to all the stuff going on there, I tell you what, the Raiders Stadium, as a football fan, I'm not a Raiders fan at all. I hate the Raiders. But as a football fan, it was breathtaking. Just seeing how the city was lit up and the stadium was there, and it just that's huge pride for your team. So hopefully Buffalo makes a decision on that stadium soon.
Yeah, I hope they do too. Although you're probably not going to like what a great article that I read about what would happen if it was downtown. A lot of people get displaced and stuff like that. I don't want to jump into it and stuff like that, but you would just be
right.
But bottom line is, let's gracefully bow out of this and move on to next week and hope the Bills win on Thanksgiving. Everybody out there, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Make sure to subscribe to the Daily News. Give it a like. Give it a share. Be commenting on the page. Maybe someday the comments will actually work and we can read some. That'd be fun. And that's going to do it for the Buffalo No-Huddle. For Mark, it's Jimmy. Go Bills.
Let's go Buffalo.